what's new?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, it is perfect because we are live and
not live yet. Hold on 1 second.
all right, cool.
Ooh, wait a second. I gotta click this little button right here. Give me about 5 seconds.
Oh, see, okay. Now it's double perfect because now we are recorded and being live streamed. So, Scott, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, Kayleen. It's so good to see you again.
Terrific to see you as well. Happy Tuesday. Thrilled to be hanging out as usual. And Scott, what's new? What's been happening in your world?
Well, I am so excited to give you an update on our mighty apprentice, Sophie. We're building out the attic space here at our house. And what's so cool, Kayleen, is she's starting to get familiar with construction terminology, and she's starting to throw it around, right? So we went out to dinner with somebody the other night, and she said, Daddy, when are you going to finish putting up the trusses, and when are you going to finish putting up the wall joists? And our guest was so impressed. She's like, what are you talking about, Sophie? So she's starting to use construction terminology, which is really fun. I think I told you early on, she called the joint compound, she called it paste. Well, she's now calling it joint compound. She said, Daddy, we need to go get more joint compound at the Home Depot. So it's really cool. It's fun to see her building on her vocabulary, and I knew you would appreciate that.
I love it so much because it is, expanding the knowledge into different vernacular is always beneficial, but the confidence too that she is gaining by now. Of course, she's going to sit around and have proper dinner conversation like trusses and joint compound. I love it. She'd be my favorite dinner guest ever.
She would. The other cool thing, and you'll appreciate this, our friend Zach Fields, he talks about how cool it is to have X-ray vision. When you become a construction person, all of a sudden you have X-ray vision when you walk into a building, right? Meaning you can see what's behind that wall. And Sophie's getting there as well, understanding that, hey, behind every wall, there's some wall joists, right? And behind every ceiling, there's some joists up there in the ceiling. And it's really cool to see her coming around on that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's super cool to see too, because next time she sees the Biltmore and that floating staircase, now that kind of awareness on like, oh, wow. Not only was it cool, but now it's doubly cool. So high five, Scott. Your mighty apprentice is making me mighty jealous. I'll tell you what, it's some pretty cool knowledge. And really, it's cool to kind of have that installation of that knowledge, but I'm really excited about today's guest because we are also talking about authentic pathways into apprenticeships.
Yes. Well, check this out, Kayleen. I did a little bit of research preparing for our meeting today, and I wanted to share some numbers with you. Of course, we're meeting with Bonni from the PHCC, and we're meeting with an apprentice, which PHCC is plumbing, heating, and cooling contractors. So I did a little research on the plumbing industry, and I learned a few things. I want to tell you that right here in Georgia, we have over 500 openings right now in plumbing related jobs, 500. And it's the same thing for you there in Colorado. If you go to Indeed.com and you type in plumbing Colorado, you'll see that there are over 500 jobs available right now in the plumbing industry, just in Colorado. Nationwide, that number is about 17,000 plumbing opportunities right now. But here's the other interesting thing. Pay in the plumbing industry starts around $55,000 a year as an apprentice, $55,000 a year. But get this, it goes up to $200,000 a year, $200,000 a year. And it's a company right there in Colorado. You may be familiar, Applewood Plumbing is based in Denver, Colorado. They are looking for experienced plumbers right now and willing to pay up to $200,000 a year. And it's not uncommon. We see $150,000 with 3 years experience. So and we've been talking about this, Kayleen, for decades, but it's real. You can go on Indeed.com right now and type that in, and you'll see these real jobs. So I'm so happy that we have the guests we have today, and I look forward to sitting back and hearing what they have to say.
Me too with that. And I'm so happy that you're sticking around because I'm really hoping that all of our viewers today have lots of questions because you're right. And something that we talk about, all these job openings, it's great, the pay, but I also guarantee that if you were to poll your average plumber on how do they like their career choice, are they happy with this? And in fact, I cannot wait. We're actually going to be speaking to an apprentice about this very question, but think the most part, folks are pretty happy. So Scott, thank you so much for sticking around today. I'm really excited about today's lunch.
Sounds good, Kayleen. I will see you in just a bit. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And as Scott mentioned, we are really excited to have on today Bonni Parsons with PHCC, which is the Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors Association of Georgia. So Bonni, hi, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I've been waiting like H2O. Sorry, I'm sure you get that pun like all the time. I can't
We've
continue.
been trying to schedule this since January, so I'm just super excited to be here. Hello.
Me too, because first of all, had I known, I'm not kidding, I would have gone into plumbing. I love construction and I love sawdust and building furniture, but oh my, the opportunities in the plumbing industry are huge and really off the charts. So let's start off with, you work in workforce development, focusing on apprenticeships and technical training. So can you walk us through the many different pathways that PHCC offers in Middle Georgia?
Yeah, we just started an in-class program in Macon, Georgia. And I came out from San Diego, 6 years running a program there with 130 apprentices. And my goal was to create a program in Middle Georgia to help individuals coming out from construction ready, from just looking for jobs, looking for an opportunity to be trained. And the training really is on the job. 90% of it's apprenticeship programs. 90% of it is getting on the job training. So you're working for a company anywhere within a radius of 60 minutes, 60 miles from Macon. But we also have programs all around Georgia. But what we did there is we had a building, we built this program, we knocked down walls, we put in a classroom, and we have 22 students who are also apprentices, and they come to school one night a week. And I'm able to help them with an instructor, learn safety tools, what the right way of doing things are. Sometimes you're learning and you might not get the right stuff. So really get some structure on the right pathway to being a journeyman plumber.
I love this so much because thank you for helping demystify the magic trick. I think when sometimes folks hear it's going to be on the job training or learning, and it's not scary, it's because how else do you teach how gravity works in real life? There are some basics. So we did have the website brought up, and would you mind saying out loud the website address that we just saw?
Yeah, so PHCC, you'll see it right behind my head here. PHCCGA for Georgia .org, phccga.org. And that'll give you a lot of information about what we do as an association of plumbing and HVAC companies. We're the oldest trade association in the nation. In 1883, the plumbers got together and said, "Hey, Joe, what are you doing?" "I don't know, Billy, what are you doing?" So they all got together and said, "Let's train each other, let's educate each other." And we've been doing that for 135 years ever since. So we're not new in Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. We've got a great presence in Atlanta. We got online training, which is amazing. You can get in anytime, sign up and go for it and start learning. And then we'll get you the jobs. So that's part of what I do as a recruiter. And
sorry,
I have someone come out of construction ready, actually walk into my office and say, "Hey, what's that sign over there? Can you help me out?" I'm like, "Sure." So got him into construction ready, got a job. He was in the apprenticeship program within a week. So
how?
Yeah.
No, that is absolutely, it's a testament on the desperation, and not desperation, but just authentic need and desire to get folks into great fitting careers. And you mentioned it briefly, but participants interested in the apprenticeship program actually have two options: either that e-learning that you talked about or in-person learning. Can you touch a little bit on what is e-learning involved? Like what is involved with that?
I think we all know what it is, but how do you learn plumbing from clicking online and saying, "Hey, I'm learning how to weld today." So
Yeah.
it is a little different online. We really try to incorporate if you're going into the e-learning program, whether you're brand new, you're just looking for a job, your employer's saying you're doing online, you're really still needing that on the job focus and programs. And that's the biggest difference between classroom and e-learning. Of course, that's kind of a given. But what we do in our classroom, and we're building more programs, and right now, I'll touch on it a little later, but we're trying to go to the technology colleges. So there's 22 colleges in the technical system in Georgia, and we are just at our infancy of putting programs there. So backtracking, there'll be more classrooms, but in Macon, you're working during the day, and it's a requirement for an apprentice. You need to, for a registered apprentice, there's two ways of looking at what an apprentice is. But as a registered apprentice with the Department of Labor, you have a number that follows you through your program, and you get bumps up in salary too every time you finish a year, a completion certificate. So you come to class, we get hands-on training, you're learning how to weld, then you're reading about how to learn how to weld. And that's kind of the online part too. But if you're in class, we have a structure bringing all the manufacturer reps in. They're learning about pipe sizes, their construction math. They're not only learning decimals and fractions, which I forgot a long time ago. You're applying it, how to make a slope, how to really read that measuring tape, measure twice, cut once. You'll hear that in Construction Ready too.
So I a quick question, because this is truly, and it's an amazing opportunity. I love how blending, because some of it is classroom, and so being able to take that nugget and put it on e-learning, but a lot of it is also, we have to see how it works in real life. And so this opportunity is incredible. So how does one participate in the courses? And then also the serious question, who typically pays for the training?
Yeah, good question. How do you participate? You can come to PHCC, you can look us up, you can send us an email, you can call me, whatever. I'm 24/7 on my phone helping people out. You really just have to connect first and let us know your options. I had one coming out through WorkSource Georgia yesterday. And where do you live? What do you do? How much, do you have no experience? Do you want to plumb? You want to do HVAC, whatever that is. And then I connect them with the right person in their area. So if you're living in Atlanta, you're living in Macon, you're living in Savannah, I'll say, okay, who do I have there? And then I'll make the introduction to handshake. Here's the company. And they're all hungry for these individuals. If you want to work, you call me, you call PHCC, and you will get a job. I'll guarantee it. If not, you come work for me.
And then not just a job, but it really is a career, and that is the focus too. So it goes all the way, lots of opportunities. So what exactly is covered in the apprenticeship training? And then let's talk about the typical job during the training and then after graduation.
Okay, so typical what's covered in the training is really you are ensuring, and your employer is ensuring that you are showing up and coming to class. And usually what they're saying anyway, when you get the job, just show up again, show up on time, and keep showing up. So that's what you're going to do with the training. It's only one night a week. If you're in e-learning, dedicate 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours every week, and you're going to get through the program in 9 months. You'll pace yourself, Sunday night or Friday afternoon, whatever you'd like to do. But ours is a Tuesday or Wednesday for plumbing. You're local, you come in, and you have about an hour of lecture, and then we throw you back in the lab, in the warehouse, and whatever's in the curriculum is what you're going to learn. So we've already done welding, we've done pipe sizing, we're building out a kitchen, so you're going to help us build the kitchen and put the plumbing in. And then, so what's typically, once you're hired by the company, it's really their rules. So they will typically maybe have you wait 6 months or 3 months, or there's a waiting period, a probationary period before you're in the program, and they'll pay for it. So this is the on the job, no debt, earn while you learn. You hear that all the time, and it's fantastic. So you just stay dedicated, be patient, and you'll get through 4 years or 3 years. You can actually take the journeyman license exam in the state of Georgia. So you're learning sizing, you're learning construction math, you're learning customer service is a huge thing. You're learning water filtration. We're adding a lot of things to the hands-on program that we have there in Macon, which will expand out to all the other different areas.
I am very impressed with the different sorts of paths, which is fantastic. And you mentioned that certification, but what is the typical starting salary for an apprentice? And then you mentioned it before, but I think it goes to repeating, or maybe you didn't. But What is the earning potential for someone in like 1 year compared to 5 years?
Yeah, so usually it's about minimum wage 15 to 16. I don't think it's minimum wage anymore because there's so many, competitive routes to make that first dollar. And really, I'd rather focus on what the earning potential is after you're done. Because sometimes you'll come in and say, I can make more at McDonald's, I can make more at Amazon, or you can make more over here. But if you're really serious about a career, you want to be a plumber, you want to have a company, you want to work for a great company like Mott Plumbing and some of the other ones that we have as members, you really want to be patient with coming in at that entry level placement. The larger the company, the more money you'll make. And as an apprentice, you are, especially with something called Davis-Bacon Act. It's for projects that are on larger scales, like municipalities. You're seeing the new building go up in your area. Those are going to be prevailing wages jobs, and you're going to make more money. And I can't really say what the rates are, anywhere between 15 to 20, depending on how much an hour, depending on where you are and what company you're working with. But when you come out every year, if you're a registered apprentice, every year your salary should go up at least $1. And that's required through a registered apprenticeship program, that they want to see that your rate is going from here to here. And when you get out, yeah, you're showing this right now, but when you get out, it's like $60,000, $80,000 a year. You're working for another company. You turn it off at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. You're having a life. You're buying that nice shiny truck. You're buying your house. I hear so many great success stories coming out of just being patient through those 4 years.
It really is. And that's where, informing parents that an apprenticeship is like a paid bachelor's degree, only with a lot more benefits with that. And so I love hearing, the student is being invested into, but PHC, also offers a free program for potential students. So first of all, can you tell us a little bit about the workforce online courses? But then, actually first, can you please say the website where people can find out information to that? And then tell us a little bit about the workforce readiness course.
Yeah, everything's found on the PHCC Georgia website. So, that little red thing on this side of my head, phccga.org, because we are a nonprofit organization. When you go there, you're going to see the word academy. And when you click down off of Academy, you're going to see the very last one, Workforce Readiness Course. What that is, that's a free course that allows you to come in and learn a little bit, perhaps schmooze and get brownie points with a new employer, actually tell a potential employer, hey, I've taken this course. I'm already learning. I'm so passionate about having a career in plumbing. You click on the bottom and it's going to say, hey, you're going to have to be charged for it. No price. It's free. It's a 6-module course. It'll take you, however long you're going to take it. Each one is about an hour or so. And it's going to give you the basics, what it's like to work in plumbing or HVAC. It actually covers both. And it allows you to really kind of get involved on that level and get excited about a career in plumbing. It's free. It's brownie. I see it's brownie points. Hey, you, Mr. Employer, I already taken this course. I get a little certificate, show it off to your family. It's your first step. It's a baby step.
It is, and that's where everything starts. I mean, gosh, if you were great at something the first time you did it, it would be weird. So it's wonderful. And thank you very much for showing the different ways and information where folks can find out things. And I'm really excited about it because next we're going to bring in Luke Randall, who's a recent graduate from your in-house training program. So Bonni, thank you so much for joining us and sharing all this terrific information. We will be seeing you in just a moment at the end of the chat. Oh, go ahead.
One thing about Luke is he actually came in from one of our large companies down in Savannah, and they do in-house training. So the difference, we have e-learning, we have come to school, come to see Bonni, and then we also have our employers that do the same darn thing in their company. So they're large enough. So Luke has been a graduate of their 4-year program within a company. So he pulls up his truck and goes into the classroom and comes back and goes home. He doesn't have to come to a school, but he's still in school at his employers. So I just wanted to make that clarification.
I love it. No, thank you, Bonni. It's true. That highlight of showing that there are multiple ways to be educated post graduation from high school, and some of it involves the training program in person or something like Luke. So thank you again, Bonni, for joining us, and we'll be seeing you in a bit. And welcome, Luke. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm terrific. Thank you so much for joining us. This is pretty exciting because, like, had I known, I would have been an apprentice. So tell us a little bit about your experience as an apprentice, but now as a journeyman. So congratulations on that transition, which is like a super big deal.
Well, I'll say when we started our apprenticeship program through our company, I had already been doing plumbing for a year, but it was nice and fulfilling. For one, it allows for projected growth throughout the company. So when you start as an apprentice, you know where you'll get to be at the end of the apprenticeship, which is very nice. And it was a good 4 years for us. So it was nice, it wasn't having to go, especially for the classroom learning side of it. Now we did the e-learning on the computer. But we did that from within a classroom we had set up at our office. And along with that, we were able to do other kind of projects as far as teaching us trade skills and things like that while we were in the classroom as well.
God, that's amazing because I think a lot of folks learn that way too. It can't be all theory and then eventually you go out and just remember it all. So that balance of both sides. So what got you started in plumbing? Like, why did you choose a career in plumbing?
Well, nowadays the trade skills are a very good career path to go into. You have great financial capabilities working in the trade field, and it's always going to be needed. They're going to continue for us everybody's going to build buildings. Everybody's going to need service done to their buildings. So it's a career that's never going to go away, that has great upward mobility, and that you can advance in and make good money.
Well, you're very smart for choosing plumbing because not many folks are even exposed or aware of it. And so I support whoever put the bug in your ear, be like, hey, Luke, plumbing's pretty fantastic. So you are now working for Mock Plumbing and Mechanical in Savannah. What does a typical day look like for you?
Well, for us, we're a completely commercial outfit. So we do big commercial projects. So we're on a project from 6 months to 2 years at a time. So for me, it's have one place to go while I'm working on that project. I know where I'm going to be every day. And depending on the stage of the job, whether we're doing underground at the beginning or as the building goes up, that's when we start doing more water and above ground until we get to the point of setting fixtures. So my day-to-day changes in larger spurts. So I might be running water pipe for a month at a time, and then I get to move on to something else. But that's more of what my day-to-day is. It doesn't vary that often. So I do one thing mainly for large spurts of time, and then I'll get to move on to something else. And it's nice not doing the same thing over and over again for years and years at a time. Every job site you go to, there's different problems to tackle, and you're doing things different ways. So it's nice. It's a constantly changing environment, which as somebody that didn't want to sit behind a desk, is very nice.
I high five to that because I don't understand. I don't know. I'm not a good sitting behind a desk person either. So it's really great to hear you say that because it's true. And it's really cool too, because I'm jealous for all of our fans listening. Really, the route that Luke took and also the opportunities at PHCC are important because I came out of residential construction. That's like the Wild West. You had training and paid, and I'm sure, do you have benefits outside of your hourly wage? Like, do you have insurance or retirement or?
Oh yeah. As a company, I have a 401k set up through the company, and I do get medical and other things as well. So.
Bravo, Luke! Congratulations also on being a journeyman now. I hope someday maybe I'll become a plumber's apprentice as soon as I can handle the humidity in Georgia. I'd love for you to be my boss. So Luke, thank you so much for sharing this. And next, I'd like to bring both Bonni and Scott back on to chat about all of this stuff. So Bonni, since you hopped on first, are there any upcoming events where potential students can learn more about careers in plumbing and HVAC?
Yes, we have one right around the corner, April 14th in Marietta. It's on our website. You go to events and you pull down, our expo is back. And so we will be at the Cobb County Civic Center, April 14th. You can come learn all about plumbing. You can meet the manufacturer reps. You can just get engaged, maybe get a job, you meet the contractors. April 14th on our website, look for events. And then we also have in Macon, August 11th, we'll have our annual open house for our in-person classroom program down there. So those both are on our website. Come see us, check us out. And as you get your career going, we'd love to see you back as a member, a business owner, a board member. Come golf with us, come do our leadership conferences. There's so many ways to get involved in your new career in plumbing. So PHCC is the place to go. And we love to have you. So we'll see you all April 14th at our website under events, and it's right there for you. Yeah.
Perfect. And Bonni, I love so much. Thank you for sharing that too. And also the value of being in an association for our younger folks coming into the trades. Joining an association is really valuable because it expands your network, but then also sometimes it's really fun to hang out with other folks who work in our industry too. So
yes, it is.
Thank you for sharing that. And Scott, welcome back. What did you think about today's lunch?
Thank you, Kayleen. I love PHCC. They're one of our longest term partners here in Georgia. We've worked with that trade association since the 1990s. And so they've been huge partners. Kayleen, they're huge in making our Career Expo successful every year. They take on the world of plumbing that we operate. And so I'm just thankful. That's the main thing I wanted to share. Just thankful to have them as a partner in all the work that we do here in Georgia. And thankful to Luke as well for taking time out of his work today to share his experience as a plumber. There are great opportunities, as he said. I really can't add to anything he said. There are great opportunities, especially if you enjoy working with your hands and you want to make a lot of money and you want to climb as high as you want to climb. There are great opportunities, great companies like Mach who are looking for good plumbers and good plumber apprentices. And so I'm just so thankful that Bonni and Luke were able to join us today to share their story.
Agreed. It was fantastic. And really, again, for folks who want to find out more information, you can check out Construction Ready's page, which is great. There's also phccga.org, where all the great information Bonni chatted about. And of course, constructionready.org, where you can find out about the 4-week program, but then also connect with fantastic partners like PHCC. So Scott, Bonni, Luke, all of our friends, thank you so much for tuning in for lunch today. And I hope you all have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kayleen.
Thank
Have a great day. Thanks, Bonni. Thanks, Luke.
Luke and Bonni, thank you. Thank you so much.
Fun.
Thank you.
You guys.